all, introducing first from Seattle, Washington, weighing 225 pounds, D.C. Dillinger. And his opponent from a classified location, weighing in at 255 pounds, Big Gun Jim Sarge.
All right, here we go. It's This Week in Wrestling, and the Big Sarge is in action. Big Gun Jim Sargent taking on newcomer D.C. Dillinger.
Man, Brian, the combat zone is rocking. Are you having fun?
I am having a ball.
This is fun, isn't it? I have a
Time of my life.
Oh, it's the first time we get an opportunity to look at John Dillinger here.
I know that's D.C. Dillinger.
Oh.
You know, I was talking to a person in your family earlier before the show. Your cousin Mark loves this guy, Big Gun Jim Sargent.
Hey, I love the guy too, and I'll tell you something right now. Doug Dillinger does not have much of a chance here.
No, no, he doesn't. Oh, look at that. Nice attempt at a sit-out right there by D.C. Dillinger, and into a side headlock on the Big Gun Jim
Well, he's
Sargent.
Dillinger's kind of a cross between Test, Edge, and Christian.
Whoa, there's a vicious arm drag takedown. But you see, there's a mistake of a rookie. He's allowing Big Gun to get up, to clear the cobwebs, to shake it off, if you will.
And now the chair comes up, Brian. It's a very good point, but the fans are solidly behind our man. Big Gun, straight out of the combat zone.
Without question, this guy has endeared himself.
Nice drop toe hold there. This kid Dillinger obviously has some game, though. He's here to fight.
Look at this, front face lock applied. The referee stepping in, make sure it doesn't. Oh, wow! From a face lock position, a nice Beal across the ring.
You'd have to call that a face lock into a Beal. That's very interesting maneuver there.
I did call it a face lock into a Beal.
All right, you don't have to yell. I'm just saying it was a good call.
Okay, I'm not yelling.
Are you having fun still?
The time of my life.
Me too. And if I can just talk to that girl in the cowboy hat later, I'll really be having the time of my life. Big chop!
And by the way, I would be remiss if I did not mention that once again, after the program, dinner's on me.
Look at this, Big Gun firing up now. Hip toss, arm drag, clothesline. And look at this.
Guns has come to life here on This Week in Wrestling.
And the fan support is there for Big Gun.
He's American made.
Absolutely. Has there ever been any other wrestlers that have used that expression? It eludes me at the moment. And now Big Gun getting the fans going here in the combat zone. And I believe the temperature is up to 117 right now in here.
Indeed.
Wow.
Perhaps we'll cook that whole chicken Cassandra Knight was attempting to sacrifice earlier in the locker room.
Yeah, what was that all about? What is wrong with that girl?
Well, this is only a 30-minute show, Knuckles Nelson. We cannot even begin to broach that topic.
True. This could be the most trouble I've seen Jim Sargent in since his debut here in Wrestling Star Wars.
Nice suplex right there by Dillinger. Referee down, and a 2 count is all it's going to be.
Big Gun trying to make his way back up. Like I said, I have not seen him in this kind of trouble.
Snapmare, and down goes the masked man from a classified location. That, by the way, is right next to Parts Unknown, where they make the foreign objects.
I've visited there before, you know. They actually have a museum. Now the fans are really getting behind Big Gun Jim Sargent.
Red basket elbow once again right into the midsection. Up and over.
Look at this.
Sunset flip. Has he got him? Rolls him up.
That could be the worst sunset flip in the history of pro wrestling.
Well, it was a cloudy sunset flip. Cover, 1, 2. Consistent counts by the referee, but not a 3 count victory like Dillinger would want it. I think it's...
Oh, big chop.
Listen to this crowd. Let's go, Big Gun. Up and down with a vicious sidewalk slam. And Dillinger with a smile on his face. And whatever that was.
Apparently he's pleased with himself.
Indeed. He's busting out with pleasantries.
Well, this kid Dillinger
himself.
is from the West Coast, but he is a student at the Killer Kowalski School of Pro Wrestling, making his debut here in Wrestling Star Wars. I say a student because you never really graduate from wrestling school.
That's true. You're always learning. Just like we learn every time we sit out here on This Week in Wrestling, don't we?
I just have fun myself. Wow, did you see the shots there by Gunn? That's not fun.
I sure did. No, Dillinger cannot be having a good time as we speak.
Oh, boots of the, look at this, Brian. Nice DDT.
Beautifully done right there on big DC Dillinger. And the gun down across the top of the chest. 1, 2.
No, couldn't put him away.
Wow.
He kicked out of the Hogan leg drop. Ow!
Uh-oh. And,
big time scientific wrestling there.
Yeah.
Big chop.
Picture is worth 1,000 words on that one.
Oh, look at that, right into the Purple Heart.
Quickly, right into the Purple Heart. I guarantee you Dillinger never saw that one coming. He's down, and the referee's checking him, and he's going down very quickly.
He's tapping out. He's tapping out.
He's tapping. Another victory for the Big Gun, Jim Sargent.
Submission victory by Big Gun Jim Sargent.
Big Gun Jim Sargent.
All right, now Brian Webster is going to make his way up to the ringside area to talk to the most popular wrestler here in Wrestling Star Wars, Big Gun Jim Sargent. Listen to the crowd here at the Combat Zone. They are solidly behind Big Gun Jim Sargent. Now going around glad-handing the people. I'll tell you, Big Gun Jim Sargent is from the Combat Zone. He is one of the top independent wrestlers in the world, as far as I can see. In the early stages of his career, I will make that bold of a statement because I know there are bigger and better things on the horizon for Big Gun Jim Sargent. He's making his way around the ringside now with an ensign in hand. And let's take it over to Brian Webster.
All right, Big Gun Jim Sargent, come on in here, buddy. Yet another victory under your belt, and you've got to be proud thus far of your track record since making your debut in Wrestling Star Wars.
Brian Webster, if it wasn't for all these people back here, Big Gun wouldn't mean anything. There's one thing I want to get across. You start using the name Big Gun Jim Sargent, but also start using the world's title match in my future.
All right, he is on his way, I'm sure, to many more victories. And with the crowd by his side, we're expecting big things from Big Gun Jim Sargent.